with respect to segment 1 in process costing, mere preparation of process account will be there. Mere preparation of process account, you have to remember the 4 steps. 4 steps, not rules and regulation, for easy reference. After reading the question, whenever they ask process account, prepare the format for the process account. What are the format? Process A account or B account or C account. Each and every process you have to prepare separate account. Please be sure whether process A, B, C or 1, 2, 3. If you are going to write ulta, reduction in mark will be there. Few occasions student will have commit the mistake in exam. In question paper, process A account, B account, C account, 3 process will be there. They will prepare process 1 account, 2 account, 3 account. They will reduce the mark. Okay, kindly read carefully. Accordingly, you have to prepare account. Respective accounts you have to prepare. The format, the first step is the format you have to write. But process account, particulars, unit, rate, amount, particulars, unit, rate, amount, debit side, credit side, to buy. This is a format for the process account. Format easy or not? All of you? Then.
Yes.
Debit side, all the expenses. How much the input quantity? What are the value of the input? Thereafter, material cost how much, labor cost how much, overhead how much. All the expenses should be debit side of the process account. Credit side, normal loss quantity, scrap value of the normal loss, therefore total value, scrap rate, total value will come, and the output transfer to next quantity. In general, these are all the information will be there in the question paper. Our duty, Control C, Control V. We have to park the information in the respective place. That's our duty. So you have to complete. So first step, preparation of process account. You have to prepare the process account. Thereafter, what you have to do? Filling the blanks. So you have to park the information in the respective place. It's called filling the blanks. After filling the blanks is over, the next step is working note 1. You have to compute process loss. Working note 1 for process loss. Input quantity minus output quantity is equal to process loss quantity. Whenever you come across formula, kindly highlight the formula so that you won't forget. You can easily for it to remember. So the third one is what? Working out with respect to process loss. Formula for the process loss is input quantity minus output quantity. Clear? That process loss you have to segregate into normal loss and abnormal loss. Normal loss based on percentage of input will be there in the question paper. Over and above the normal loss is called abnormal loss. Suppose if negative means called abnormal gain. So abnormal loss, debit side of the process account. Abnormal loss what? Credit side of the process account. Abnormal gain means debit side of the process account you have to park it. Understood? So after posting with respect to process loss and normal loss is over. Abnormal loss, normal loss or what? Abnormal gain is over. The next step is what? Working out with respect to cost per unit computation. Formula for cost per unit is gross cost minus normal loss salvage value divided by input quantity minus normal loss quantity. Okay, gross cost minus normal loss salvage value divided by input quantity minus normal loss quantity. You will get the cost per unit value. That cost per unit you have to make use for abnormal loss quantity into cost per unit is equal to total value of the abnormal loss, or abnormal gain means abnormal gain quantity into cost per unit is equal to total value of the abnormal gain, and the output quantity will be there. Output transfer next to process. Output transfer to next process into the cost per unit is equal to total value of the output transfer to next process. After applying the cost per unit for multiplication purpose, after applying the same, process account has to tally, automatically tally on. So these are all the steps you have to remember with respect to preparation of process account. Clear? So I'll repeat the step. First, format for the process account you have to write. Then filling the blanks. Thereafter, working note 1 for normal process loss and working note 2 for cost per unit. After applying the cost per unit, the process account will tally. Understand? It has to tally. Here, commonly committed mistake is whenever you come across cost per unit computation, for writing purpose, you can take 2 digits. Suppose 34.15 is coming. You can take 34.15. Sometime 34.15684354. Then you count the portion, write all the digits. Am I right? For writing purpose, you can restrict it to 2 digits, 34.15. Clear? But. For multiplication purpose, you have to take the exact value. 34.153456, what and all available, everything you have to take into multiply. You have to multiply. Anyway, calculator only going to do the work. You should know how to operate the calculator, that's all. Clear? So for multiplication purpose, we are going to cut the digits, then fractional error will come. Debit side, credit side, 200 rupees, 500 rupees, different will come. With the 500 rupees and all, we can't the rounding off. Am I right or not? Therefore, take the exact value. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, can rounding off, you can do in the total. Clear? If you are going to take the exact value, cost per unit, automatically process account. That's why I told what? Automatically process account has to tally. It will tally. Clear? These are all the things you are supposed to remember with respect to preparation of process account. It's the first segment in process costing. Clear? Now, one more thing. In examination, they'll ask, prepare process accounts. If they ask prepare process accounts, you have to prepare process 1 account, 2 account, 3 account. How many process are there? That many account you have to prepare. Sometime 10 mark question or 12 mark question they are asking. Prepare necessary accounts. Necessary accounts. If it is necessary accounts given in this question, process 1 account, 2 account, 3 account, assume 3 processes are there, 3 account, then normal loss account, abnormal loss account, abnormal gain account. Many students, they won't prepare normal loss, abnormal gain account because they are not habituated to prepare the same. Necessary accounts means process normal loss account also account, abnormal loss also you're having account, and abnormal gain also you're having account. We have to prepare those accounts also. That ledger also you have to prepare. Otherwise, reduction in mark will be there. Understood? Now, with respect to normal loss, we are going to sell it off. Therefore, we are going to get the cash. Therefore, by cash, the value you have to part. But in case abnormal gain comes in that one particular process, then normal loss as it is we can't sell for the cash. Restricted to what? All the normal loss quantity we can't realize the cash. We can go only with the actual loss, nothing but process loss. That's the reason working note 2 is important. Input quantity minus output quantity is equal to process loss. That process loss is the actual quantity. That only we can sell. The expected quantity we can't afford to sell. The difference you have to transfer to abnormal gain account. That's the reason one video I told accounting treatment of abnormal gain, abnormal loss. Those videos you can refer so that you have a better clarity with the numbers also. Understood? Now, abnormal loss and abnormal gain. What is the accounting treatment? With respect to abnormal loss, what is called abnormal loss? Normal loss is more than process loss, nothing but actual loss. Normal loss is greater than process loss means then it is called abnormal loss. Over and above the normal loss is called abnormal loss. Normal loss is less than process loss, then it is called abnormal gain. What is the accounting treatment of normal loss? Normal loss value after adjusting, abnormal accounting treatment of abnormal loss. Abnormal loss value after adjusting normal loss salvage value, the balance loss, they called net loss, that we have to transfer to costing P&L account. We have to debit it to costing P&L account. I'll repeat once again with respect to accounting treatment of abnormal loss. Value of the abnormal loss less normal loss salvage value, balance is called net abnormal loss value. That net abnormal loss value we have to debit it to costing P&L account. Same logic for abnormal gain. Accounting treatment of abnormal gain, value of abnormal gain less normal loss salvage value, balance net abnormal gain we have to transfer to costing P&L account, credited to costing P&L account. So normal loss or abnormal loss after adjusting abnormal loss or abnormal gain, abnormal loss or abnormal gain after adjusting normal loss salvage value we have to transfer to costing P&L account. So these are all the things you are supposed to remember in with respect to first segment. Sometime sales quantity also will be there in the question. Output of the last process. I told process 1, process 2, process 3 example. Am I right? In process 3, last output we have to take what? Transfer to finished goods account. Am I right? In process 3, assume 10,000 quantity is there, output. We are transferring to finished goods. All the 10,000 quantity produced may not be the sales quantity. Am I right? Sometimes sales information will be there. 8,000 quantity sold for some value will be there. Then 8,000 into sale value is equal to sales revenue. Balance 2,000 is called what? You have produced 10,000, 8,000 sold. Therefore 2,000 is called closing stock. So we have to value the closing stock at the cost. Am I right? So based on the cost per unit, we have to take the closing stock as it is. Sometimes they ask you to prepare costing P&L account also. Because the previous steps and all, the previous accounts and all, transferred to costing P&L account, debited to costing P&L account, credited to costing P&L account, you have discussed. Am I right or not? So, and the sale value also will be there. Sometimes they ask you to prepare costing P&L account also. So these are all the things you should be thorough with respect to segment 1 in process account. Process costing preparation and process account. All are comfortable with respect to first segment, my dears? Purinjudha?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
What about the second segment? Second segment is called equivalent production. So now we have discussed only the first segment. Totally how many segments are there? 3 segments are there. First segment near preparation of process account. Second segment equivalent production. Third one is called inter-process profit. Understood? Now first segment you have completed.